In one turn, we will be switching to a purely influence focus to try to boost our election capabilities. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and garrison those guys there, and we're going to look at settling this. Yeah, so it did keep the happiness bonus. That's nice. So when we mouse over this, it's still Mycordia. It's just Volcanic Mycordia now, which is awesome. Go get it. Colonize that city. Let's get good. Let's get good. Welcome back to Endless Legend. We are playing as the Kapaku, and we are working on a couple different quests right now. We are working on our faction quest, which requires us to volcanoform 7 tiles. We have our first volcanoformer down, I believe, which is doing 7 tiles. I'm sorry, we need 10 tiles, so we'll have to do a second one of those. We're working on defeating this Seritan village, and then acquiring a minor faction army, which we're probably going to have to do via the marketplace, which should be in queue. We're just not quite there yet. Yeah, that's our next thing in queue. Do we have stuff after that? We don't. So once we get to the marketplace tech and research, we're going to have to swap that. But for the time being, we're going to send our hero and this army of 2 over here to do some work with the Seritan. Is that the right Seritan, though? Let's double check our quest real quick. The tribe has informed you their kidnapped brothers are somewhere in Gemeldus. Locate the right Seritan village, which has a marker on it, and destroy it. Okay, so this one doesn't have a marker on it, which means that it's either this Seritan village, or there could potentially be one in these 2 tiles over here. So we're going to move up a little bit and see if we can find a marker above that one. And other than that, we have this little guy here who is headed home for some reason. Oh, that's right, I think I'm sending him back to defend because the Delvers are here and they're kind of pushing around a little bit. We do have a settler that's done too that should come out and begin moving towards this region because we're going to colonize it as soon as this here gets done. Which will give us access to some emeralds and some titanium along with the eyeless ones. I'm not entirely sure why we selected this area to potentially colonize first. I know we were looking at over here, but I don't know why I decided against that. I mean, lava flows are incredibly strong for us, so those are things we definitely want. However, here we do have a happiness improvement, and I don't think that there's anything that grants happiness in this one. Happiness? No. So that may very well be it, although I'm not entirely sure, like, are we going to lose that happiness when this volcanoforms? I guess we'll find out. I would hope that's not the case, but if that is the case, then at least we will be prepared for that. I think it still keeps the happiness improvement, because I think when we looked at the outcome, it didn't show the happiness going away. So I am really curious about that, because the reality is, if that takes away the happiness from that, it honestly isn't worth it to volcanoform anything that's got those kinds of bonuses, because happiness bonuses are the single most important bonuses you can get when you're like, well, I mean, they're not the single most important bonuses, but like, realistically, you don't colonize cities that don't have food or don't have production. What you do sometimes end up having to do is colonize cities that, for whatever reason, do not have happiness bonuses, and those can be incredibly influential, especially in early eras like this one where, hey, there's another happiness bonus. In early eras like this one where we haven't developed any happiness technologies yet, it can make a huge, huge impact on your science in particular. It can also impact dust, but we're not super dust focused with this faction. Yeah, you're fine. Just wait there. Alright, here we go. One more pearl and we can start doing stuff with the Altar of Auriga. And we are going to finish the Museum of Auriga this turn. Bam! Look at that. That's beautiful, guys. I love rushing to get the big city improvements because I think they're kind of great. And it also, for me, it's also like a tempo thing. Like, if you get that, it's just sort of defeating to other empires. At least it is to me. When I play multiplayer and one of my friends nets those before I do, I'm just like, I'm salty. I want those things. Anyways, maybe I'm just a salty, salty man. So our city center is right there, so we kind of want to place stuff around it to level up, and I think we were building down... Were we building down on this line? I think we were building down on this line, actually. So we've got our city center here. We're going to want to put one there, so I'm going to go ahead and do a borough street right there. And I'll put the sewer system in queue as well. Where are we on elections? In one turn, we will be switching to a purely influence focus to try to boost our election capabilities. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and garrison those guys there, and we're going to look at settling this. Yeah, so it did keep the happiness bonus. That's nice. So when we mouse over this, it's still Mycordia. It's just Volcanic Mycordia now, which is awesome. Go get it. Colonize that city. Okay, so now we've got our new city. Food generation is decent, but could be better. I'm actually going to put our guy in food for a minute to try to even those out a little bit. We're also going to prioritize the mill foundry and then the seed storage immediately after. The reason we're not going public library first is because of how food dry this area is, and that food is going to be very, very integral to the growth of this region. Last thing we'll do is almost always going to be the Empire Mint, although we'll probably put the titanium extractor behind it, but the chances are we'll buy that out relatively soon. And why did I settle right before an election? Or not an election, but an Empire plan. So in the future, guys, I forgot about this because it's been a long time since I played, but that is actually a really smart strat. Like, you don't really want to settle a new region until after your next Empire plan, because it does increase the cost of Empire plans. And that normally wouldn't be such an issue, but the thing about settling a new city is that we've settled this new city, we have one population there. That one population is not going to be making very much influence for us. So all it's done is sort of double the cost of the Empire plan without actually giving us the ability to make that much additional influence. Return to the tribe's village and restore their trust. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So we should be able to send them back to the eyeless ones over here, and that should pacify the eyeless ones. Now, if we assimilate the eyeless ones, that'll get us a step closer to pacifying these delvers. Although at this point, I feel like perhaps we'd be better off just buying out the delvers. Because the 3 minor faction unit thing is actually kind of tough. Mainly because we don't have access to the market. That'll happen soon, though. That reminds me, we are going to finish Mercenary Market this turn and need to queue something up. Let's queue up... Can't queue up anything from Tier 2, so let's queue that guy up just to be safe and make sure that any overflow in science will end up where we want it to be, which is in a useful technology. Or actually, we're going to get this. We'll get this because the reality is these Geomancers are not phenomenal. They're support units primarily. And our stone soldiers will do plenty for us. Not to mention that there is I did get to play these guys a little bit over the Endless Weekend with some friends, and there is a faction quest that will make it so that our stone soldiers don't have upkeep. And that right there is nuts, guys. That is just unbelievable. What the hell? So overpowered and great. Very overpowered and great that our stone soldiers have no upkeep cost. So we do want to set up for our Empire plan because it's 3 turns away. So if we do that, we're still going to get a population next turn. Let's move these guys over here. We don't yet have the market techs we need to go in and... Oh, and we also need more resources to pop boosters now, which is unfortunate. Once we have the market text, we'll start buying out things like dye. Dye is incredibly useful to have for situations like this. So we are generating 13 a turn, and I know for a fact that's not going to be enough to do anything. Just to keep what we have right now, we need 60. We have 3 turns, and we're generating 13. So that's not enough. We're probably going to lose out on at least one thing that we're currently getting on our Empire plan, which is okay, because not all of it is necessary, but it's still nice to have those things. It does, you know, help your faction grow a little bit faster over time. We have reached a new research era. That's a plus. Mercenary market is available. Open pit mine is being researched. And we have a new stone sentinel and a titanium extractor. So is this place... We just built another stone sentinel. I guess that was for exploration's sake? Oh yeah, this is nice. Okay. So... we have some tough choices here. We don't need to build that Burrow Street right now. The rest of these would be good for us to build. It's gonna take a few turns though. I think it'll be fine. We're gonna build those, and then we'll build the Industrial Megapole. For those of you who don't know, the Industrial Megapole is like... holy crap good. So the way that this one works, this is another one of those unique improvements, but it's plus 25 production per level on Industrial Megapole, and minus 20% district cost on your entire empire, which is huge, guys. That's huge. But the leveling up thing is even huger, because... huger's not a word, I bet. Huger's probably not a word. Yeah, that's not a word. Sorry, guys. But it's a big freaking deal, and here's why. Because see how this is making 11 production here? It's also going to make another 25, and if we level it up, it'll go to 50, which is just an insane amount of production. Like, y'all can tell, that's an insane amount of production. I actually wish we'd been able to get this right here instead of the Altar of Auriga. I mean, I guess we could build upward like this, but this is still the best total FIDS gain from it. In fact, I may just put it here and we may just have to build out to it. It's still totally worth it because of the amount of production that it gives. So I'm going to split out a stone soldier here just as an exploration unit, because I think we had produced a second stone soldier for that purpose. We do have purple on the map. Do we know who purple is yet, though? Hello? Okay, purple's the Arden Mages. I forgot that we ran into them. And we can now purchase some minor faction units, so let's go ahead and sort by price, because all we care about is what's cheapest. Okay, so it's going to cost us roughly 350 or so dust in order to acquire 2 different minor faction units, and then we'll need a third, which will probably come from an assimilated minor faction, if that's at all possible for us. That's actually really annoying, though. I still think we may be better off, for that amount of money, we may be better off just going over here and bribing them. I think that's what we're going to do, actually. We're going to move these guys closer so that we can bribe them when the time is right. Titanium extractor. Your peaceful behavior allows all of us to grow and study in peace. Yes, it does. We cool. We very cool. Yeah, just murder those driders for me, would you please? Thank you very much. Excellent job, hero guy. You just kicked all the buttocks. Let's see. He has a level up, and we're going to put that into... I want to go here because the movement right here. Agile Mover is without a doubt one of the best abilities you can put on a hero. So that'll help them move just a little bit faster. Should actually get them here to finish this pacification this turn, which is great. Hi there, we want to be your friend. Cool, so we got pacification and 15 glass steel, which is excellent. Do we have another Volcaniformer? We don't, so we're going to make one real quick. And the way that Volcaniformers actually work is they don't cost 2 of any resource. That cost goes up every time, so as you can see, the glass steel is 6 now. This is 2, which means the next time we use it, it'll go up to 4. Now, the reason I did that is because we still have this faction quest to Volcaniform 10 tiles. I'm just debating which direction we want to Volcaniform in, and I think it's this one. Yeah, I think if we do that, that's going to be our best potential outcome. So go do that. What are we losing Fidzy-wise there? We're not losing anything Fidzy-wise if we do that either, which is great. Yeah, you guys are supposed to come back over here so that we can buy out these 122, so we can buy them out next turn. That's what we're gonna do. It's just dramatically cheaper in this instance because their quest ended up being kind of garbage. And this region has Ursies times 2 or 3 in it. I'm gonna go ahead and break out this other army. And actually, we'll leave him here to help deal with the roaming Delver's army once we buy out this Delver thing. So you can go ahead and garrison back up, bud. Which, interestingly enough, increased our dust output. I wonder if that's because units that are garrisoned don't generate a dust cost. And that's something I've forgotten. That could definitely be the case. Alright, so you guys are all that's left. You just wait. It's cool. End that turn! I'm super glad, though, that we got the Museum of Auriga and we're working on the Industrial Megapole. Production is definitely one of the strong things for the Kapaku. Once again, I pronounce things really funny sometimes, guys. I also forget to queue research because I'm bad at life. But it's okay, because we're not, like, super far behind or anything. We're actually probably ahead of most people. Let's see. Actually, we can check that. Yeah, we're ahead of a good part of the field. We're not in the lead, but we're close. Yep, we know that. We're going to find research. So here, research becomes really, really intriguing because we can't really rush hard into production with this tier. There's not a whole lot in production. There's this, which will give us more on forest and on exploitations. And there's this, which will just give +5 per person on city, but can only be built once. That's actually kind of powerful. +1 on terrain with industry during summer. So that's actually kind of powerful. I think we'll rush for that, which will be quickly followed by this and this. These are actually much better techs for generating FIDs than these two are. There's not a great production tech in this second tier, but it does exist in this. I usually don't pick this up, but in this case I'm picking it up because I think that we can build the canal locks on our home or our main region and get some real value out of that. Hey, we actually made it to 60. That's surprising. Yeah, made it to 64. We can't go any higher than what we had before, which is fine. The question is, do we want to drop something like this and try to go for that? No. No, we're not going to make it to that. So we'll just do this. No, we'll just do... Actually, we'll just do this. We don't really need the unit cost reduction. No, we'll take it. We'll take it. The unit cost reduction is worth it. We're not going to do much with that influence anyway. Alright, you guys get back in production. Same with you guys. All the production, all the time. Okay, so they are doing their jobs. We have the money to do this thing. Hi there, you guys are our friends now. Thank you. Delvers are definitely someone I would consider assimilating. The problem is we're going to want a region with more Delver villages in it, because this one only has 1. So +5 dust is great, but it's not that great. Yeah, come down here and grab that pearl. You guys are actually geared up to fight just fine, so why don't you come over here, clear these guys out so we don't have to deal with them anymore, especially now that we have the eyeless ones as our pacified village here, and come grab this pearl. And then I want you to head down here to do your terraform thing. So now we have the pearls that we are required to have. Did we already build the altar? We did not. So the altar of Auriga is going down. Is this a per level one? It is a per level one. Man, we have a lot of per level improvements here. Okay, so how do we want to do this in the best possible way? We want to put it somewhere where we know we can get, like, a couple levels on it easily. So that wouldn't be terrible. Neither would that, actually. Yeah, let's put it right there. We'll put the Altar of Auriga right there, and that's a really short one to build, so I'm going to move that up the queue. And then, once all those are done, we've got gold in our region, which is honestly great. Gold is one of the better luxury resources to have, just because of how important it can be to keep your dust generation high. And right now we're generating none of it, so once we get this deposit, we should begin generating some of it, and we can start figuring out how much and when we can afford to pop that. That also makes these guys a lot better We still do want to find more of the Delver villages, though, because right now just having that one isn't super consequential. And where are we on quests? Once we put down this Volcaniformer and it's done, we're done with this part of our major quest. So we're gonna go ahead and end the turn. What do we have going on next? We should have an Altar of Auriga by the beginning of our next turn, which is sweet. This will have finished its science building, which is also sweet. We did not get 4 luxury resource boosters first. That is... I mean, you win some, you lose some. We did get the Museum of Auriga, which I feel like is way more important than that, so I'm not super upset by that, really. And this place should be building all the things. We should be working on the Industrial Megapole within 2 turns or so, but I might put our Gold Extractor in front of that. The Industrial Megapole is something we definitely want to rush because we want to get it, but the fact that we got the museum is a good sign that we're kind of a little bit ahead on production compared to some of the other factions, so we can push it off a little bit to make sure that we get the buildings we want built in our main region. I'm gonna send this guy up here to explore. I still feel like we're gonna want to colonize this region. I'm just gonna send him over here to see if there's anything particularly great here that we're gonna want to focus on getting. Because if I recall correctly, the Fidzy here is the reason why it's like, like, there's not great Fids here. And if there is, it's usually located right next to, like, see, this is a village right here, and there's some decent Fids right here. This is another ruin right here with some decent Fids right here. So, I mean, it is a good region for us. It has these volcanic lakes, which are very useful for us. Yeah, let's get him up there to look at it again. And you guys can come down here and place a Volcaniformer. So once they place this Volcaniformer, I'm going to send them back to our main region to go look for the 2 Delvers that we saw roaming around here, because they could potentially be a problem for us in the future. Alright, so 3 turns away from having our main quest move forward. We must begin to make this world more hospitable for the Kapaku. We're gonna terraform everything. Everything! No, I did find out, too, that you can terraform other people's city tiles, which is really kind of great and super trolly, because, like, I can only imagine how badly you could, cripple someone's food production by turning it all into lava. That just seems like a really, really funny way to, I guess, metagame the system. I'm excited to try that out, and we'll definitely be doing that at some point during this playthrough. Where are you? You're right there. Okay, come on up here. Everybody move. Everybody move. See, this is something that throws me. Like, they have movement orders, so why are you telling me they're inactive and then showing me this button? They moved this turn, right? Right, okay, so then what's the deal? Ending the turn. That always kind of throws me. Oh, you know what I think it might be? I wonder if it's just because they... Maybe it's a weird ipso facto thing because they didn't have the movement to move past those ruins and you can't stop on them? It could be that, I suppose. Hydrology is finished. We should begin building canal locks wherever we're going to put that, which honestly is probably going to be right here. Like, depending on how quickly we can build those. 4 turns to get those out, 6 to get the Industrial Megapole. Probably going to do the Industrial Megapole first. Yeah, we're not going to generate enough dust to do that without... Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to do the Industrial Megapole first. That's what we've decided by that. Okay, everybody go! Show me this region. We honestly should keep exploring more of the regions up here. There's definitely things that we want to look for, like, what is this? That's emeralds. I haven't played in a while, that's why I didn't recognize the icon, guys. Sorry, okay. So... we know this region is probably a go-to just because, like I said, lava flows are good and they have them. We're going to keep moving him up through the rest of these regions. The goal here is just to sort of explore and see what else is out there. I would very much like to find a region that has dyes. Regions with dyes in them are incredibly strong. The reason being that that thing I like to do where you put everybody in influence for a couple turns before the Empire plans works great already. The only thing that makes it work any better is when you have dyes to pop with it, because then, like... holy crap, do you make enough influence during that time period. You make ridiculous influence. And we do the same. We'll do the same thing with gold and stuff like that. We will make sure to take as best advantage of those resources as we can. So we'll generally save our gold until it makes sense to pop it to regenerate a ton of dust. Hey, we completed that, so we got 10 blood crystals and some glass steel. Kapaku need to start finding allies for the coming conflicts. Assimilate a minor faction, and we have Shaman's Insight. Stone Sentinels have no upkeep. This is what we wanted, guys. Holy moly, is that strong. Hi there, Mr. Urses. You seem very terrifying, like you might eat us, so we're gonna go this way. We're just stopping in to say hi. It's cool, man, it's cool. You don't need to get all offended and, like, swing your big stick at us. It's very cool. Alright. These guys have done their thing here. We'll actually move them up because they can engage the Urses. I'm not sure they'll win, but they can engage the Urses. And it may actually make sense for us to pacify these villages right now, just to keep the Urses from becoming an issue in the future. Go. Alright. Turn ending. I'm actually super excited for the Industrial Megapole. This city right here is just developing really, really nicely, and with Endless Legend, building tall is a thing. If you can build a couple of really strong cities early on, that can be all you need to really get going. Another empire succeeded in building the... So we got the museum, and they got the Industrial Megapole, and I'm a sad panda. Because that would have been phenomenal for us. That would have been really, really great. It is what it is. We'll recover, we'll be fine. So that is the altar, that is our city, that is the museum. So we're gonna go this way. With that burrow, and if we build one more burrow here, it'll upgrade our city to level 2, which will help with happiness management, which is great. Yeah, you guys can engage the Urses. Go get them. Go get them. Go whoop that buttocks. There we go. Finish them. Yeah, that's what we want to see. We didn't even lose anyone. Like, our Stone Sentinels are still using garbage basic gear, I'm pretty sure, and we didn't lose anybody. I am very, very fond of how strong a unit the Stone Sentinel is, especially with that zero cost thing. Like, you can't get better than that. We do have to actually reach that, though, which means assimilating someone, so we should look at who's available and what we want to do. +5 happiness per the one Eyeless One's village, but there were, I believe, some more Eyeless One's villages around here somewhere that we saw. So there's Eyeless Ones there. I could have swore we found another region with Eyeless Ones in it, and that was, like, something I was considering. No, we've got Seriton there. I guess not. Yeah, I guess not. That doesn't make sense. Okay. We're probably going to pick up the Delvers. Just being honest, the reason I'm not going for the Eyeless Ones is because we have the Geomancers as support. The Delvers have a nice AoE hit, and their infantry, they'll be fine. We'll go ahead and grab them up. Mainly just to complete that quest. We can always assimilate another minor faction later, too, but more realistically, we'd rather pacify more Delver villages before we focus on picking up another minor faction to assimilate. Hey game, what can we do now? Alright, the Alchemy Workshop is researched, and just in time for Aladev to build it, potentially. Shaman's Insight is unlocked. We simply have that now, which is great. Search both ruins indicate an array of light in the regions called Janaldas and Renar. And that'll give us exotic armor, which is awesome, because is that tier 1 or tier... Unlocks tier 3 of glass, steel, and titanium armor. That's going to be really, really great for when we have governors, speaking of which we should be looking into one of those right now. So a great tip for people that are new to the Endless series, when you're looking for your first governor, there's really only one thing that stands out and matters. I mean, Dust Efficiency 3 right here, it's kind of great, but that's not what we're after. We are distinctly after Industry Efficiency. If anybody has Industry Efficiency, that's where we want to go. And the Wild Walkers in general have the best production abilities, so we're not going to pick up any of those guys right now. That's unfortunate. I would have liked to have grabbed us a nice governor to take over, but that's not going to happen. We are not going to build the canal locks here. We are going to build the canal system, though. And these guys have room for burrows, so let's start burrowing down. We'll put a burrow there. We will build an alchemy workshop and a geomic lab. What does geomic lab do again? +2 on terrain with science. That's great. More science is never a bad thing. More science means more things for us to build with our massive production. Why, hello there! You all seem very interesting. Not as interesting as this ruin that I'm here to explore, though, and I hope you decide not to start shit. Because if y'all want to go, we can go, and when we go, I will win. Just putting that out there. Like, y'all seem to have pretty basic units. We have basic units too, but our basic units are made out of stone, so I think it's gonna end poorly for you if you want to engage. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and end our turn here. We almost have enough pearls to actually use our Altar of Auriga. That is something I'm looking forward to. There's some very powerful stuff in there for us. I would honestly like to start with maybe Chapel of Auriga. Oh, they actually want to fight though. Okay. Yeah, sure. Why are my other units not weird? Let's retreat here. Looks like we're not winning that fight. Man, they have a lot of damage output to be winning that fight like that. It's weird because it, like, loaded our hero and stuff as reinforcements, so I think that might be the reason why it was giving us such a low, like, power indication there. Okay, maybe now we're a little bit better off if we try to attack them here. But I'm not sure, and honestly, we just want to search these ruins. So I'm going to search the ruins. If they want to get brawlsy with our hero, that's all on them. And it looks like we are unfortunately out of time, folks. So we will continue in the next episode with our faction quest getting a little bit further along. And I mean, already we've made some good progress. We are looking to pick up this third region here, and potentially a fourth if we can find more of the Delver's Minor faction floating around. But right now, I mean, look at what we've got, guys. We've got titanium, gold, glass, steel, titanium, emeralds, and when we get over here, we will have more titanium, sorry. It's just, yeah, we're doing great. We're doing great. Gotta search a ruin there and kill an enemy mob. Gotta search a ruin here, which we already did, and then kill this enemy mob. That'll move us on to our next quest thing. This is going great. I love the Kapaku, guys. I think that I have decided they're lava gremlins. That's what they are, okay? Because we've got our samurai space chickens in the Hisho and ES2. These are our lava gremlins. Like, you know the old, what was it? Like the old Alfred Hitchcock movie where there's like gremlins on the wing of the plane? It's them, guys. That's who they be. They the lava gremlins, and this is gonna be freaking great. If you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more, click that subscribe button. I am planning on going to possibly 2 Endless Legend, 2 Endless Space, 2 Battletech a week. Let me know what you guys think about that, and definitely let me know if you want to see any other content. Thanks for watching, and keep gaming responsibly. Bye!